Hi students, welcome to online class. In this video, we are going to discuss about chapter 14, classes and objects. Now we are going to discuss about the next topic, class access specifiers. In the previous video, we have understood what is meant by class, what is the need for class, and then what is the general form of the class. When we discussed about the general form of the class, we discussed about 3P. Do you remember, students, what is meant by 3P? 3P means private, protected, and then public. So in this video, we are going to discuss about 3P, that is private, protected, and then public. Before discussing about access specifier, you might have remember about what is mean by data hiding. In the previous chapter 13, we discussed about data hiding. Data hiding is one of the important feature of object-oriented programming. Do you remember, students? Yes, data hiding is the one of the most important feature of OOPS. What is mean by data hiding? Hiding the data from others. See, we are going to hide the data inside the class. We are going to hide the data inside the class so that the outsiders, that is outside of the class, nobody should access the data which is inside the class. So we are going to prevent the functions of the program. See here, they are given in this line. We are going to prevent the functions of the program to access directly the internal representation of a class type. So whatever we declare inside the class, those functions and variables should not be accessed outside the class. Can you understand, students? Whatever the variables and functions, in simple way we can say that whatever the data members and member functions, we declared inside the class, that should not be accessed outside the class. The members should not be accessed outside the class. So those members, we are going to hide it inside the class. We are going to prevent from outside access. So that is called data hiding. Then access restriction to the class member is specified by. So we are restricting the access. We are not allowing to access all the entities. We are not allowing to access all the variables, that is all the data members and member functions. In simple words, I am saying like this. For example, in the corona, at the time of corona, many of the relatives may come to your house. Is it right or not? Yes. You will not allow your relative, for example, your brother or sister. Maybe your brother or sister. You will not allow your brother or sister to access all your properties. Is it right or not? You will not allow your brother or sisters or relatives to access all your properties. So like that, the class members is restricted. By specifying the 3 access specifier. What are they? Private, protected, and then public. So through this, the class is restricting the members. Through the 3P, that is private, protected, and public, the class is restricting the members. Can you understand, students? Now we are going to see in detail about what is mean by private, what is mean by protected, and what is mean by public. First of all, we discuss about private members. What is mean by private member? A private member cannot be accessed from outside the class. Whenever we declare the data member and member function, whenever we declare the data member and member function, those data member and member function comes under private, cannot be accessed outside the class. Can you understand, students? A private member cannot be accessed from outside the class. Only the class member functions can access the private members. So only you can access within the class. Only you can access within the class. So whatever the variables and member functions declared under private, whatever the data members, that is variables, and member functions, that is functions, declared under private access specifier can be accessed within the class. I can say a simple example. You are going for a computer science lab. You are going for the computer science lab. You are allowed to access the computer inside the lab. Is it right or not, students? Yes, you are going to the computer science lab and then you are going to work in the system. After coming out of the lab, whether you are taking the computer outside? No, you are not allowed to access the computer to take it outside. Like that, you simply consider for the physics lab. You are going for the physics lab. You are working with the simple pendulum. Whenever you come out of the physics lab, whether you are taking the simple pendulum to your class or to your home? No, it is not allowed. Simply in simple words, we can say that is a private property. That is a private property. So like that, whenever we declare the data members and member functions, whenever we declare the data members and member functions under the private access specifier, it can be accessed within the class and it cannot be accessed outside the class. Can you understand, students? Then this is a very important point. By default, all the members of the class would be private. By default, all the members of the class are private access specifier. We have studied in the previous video. By default, all the members of the structure are public, but all the members of the class are private. Can you understand, students? Now we are going to see the next access specifier, that is protected member. What is mean by protected member? A protected member is very similar to private member, but it provides one additional benefit, that they can be accessed in the child classes, which are called as derived classes. What is mean by protected member? Here what they are saying, protected member means it is very similar to private. It is very similar to private. But what is the additional benefit means? Protected members can be accessed within the class and it can also be accessed in the derived classes. Do you remember in the last chapter we have studied in inheritance? What is mean by derived class? Derived class means a class which is derived from another class. A class which is derived from another class. In simple terms, in simple words, we can say the real example. You are the child, you are derived from your parents. Is it right or not, students? You are the child and then you are the derived classes. You are derived from your parents. Is it right or not? You might have studied in 10th standard inheritance. So you are the child, you are called the derived classes and then you are derived from the parents. The parents are called base classes. The parents are called base classes. So here what they are saying, protected members can be accessed within the class and it can also be accessed in the derived classes. Can you understand, students? Protected members can be accessed within the class and it is also accessed in the inherited classes, that is derived classes. I can say another real-time example. let us take your family. So your father is earning some money. Is it right or not? So your father is getting some assets, purchasing some assets. After your father and mother, who is going to own that asset? After your parents, whatever the asset they are purchasing, whether it is a home, whether it is a house, or whether it is a car, or whatever it may be. After your parents, you are going to own that particular house. You are going to own that particular car. You are going to own that particular land. So like that, after your parents is also living in that house, living with that car. After your parents, you are also taking the responsibility of that house, and then you are also living in that same house. Can you understand, students? So whatever the asset they are purchasing, they are using their asset for themselves, as well as their assets are owned by their child. So like that, protected member is used to access within the class, and also it is used to access in the derived classes. Can you understand, students? Right, now we are going to discuss about the next member, that is public member. What is mean by public member? Public member is accessible from anywhere outside the class but within the program. What is mean by public member? Means public member can be accessed within the class, and it can also be accessed in inherited class, and then it is also accessed anywhere in the program. There is no restriction for public. Public means it is accessed anywhere in the program, but only within the program. So that is what they are saying. Anywhere outside the class means inside the class, outside the class, but only within the program. So in simple words, what we can say? Public members can be accessed anywhere in the program. Can you understand, students? Public members can be accessed anywhere in the program. So it may be inside the class or outside the class or anywhere in the program. Can you understand, students? So it is like a public library. What is mean by public library? Public library means anybody can get into the library and then they can read the books. You cannot say that this is my book, this is my place. It is not a private property. Is it right or not? See, one man is walking in the road. You are saying that one man is walking in the road nearby your house. You just consider like this. One man is walking in the road nearby your house. You are saying that this is my house. This is my road. Can you say like that? No, you cannot say, because the road is public. That is not a private property. Then suddenly he smash on you and then he will say that this is public. It is not your property. But when the person is entering into your house, you can say that it is my house. It is my property. You are not allowed to get inside. So that is private. Can you understand, students? So see the difference between private, protected and public. Private means it can be accessed within the class. It can be accessed within the class. When you go for protected, it can be accessed within the class and it can be accessed to the inherited class, that is derived class. But when you go to public, the public members can be accessed anywhere inside the program. The public members can be accessed anywhere inside the program. Can you understand, students? Then you can set and get the value of public data members without using any member function. So you can get the value for the public data member. You can get the value for the public data member. Also you can set the value. Set the value means you can assign the value for the public members. Can you understand, students? So you can get the value and then you can assign the value for the public members without using the any member function. So simply we can assign the values for the variables. Simply we can assign the values for the variables and then we can get the values for the variables. That is getting the value using cin statement. Getting the value from the user. So we can get the value from the user. Also we can assign the value for the variables without using the member function. Can you understand, students? Now you can see the example for the class. See the example. So the class should start with the keyword class and then the class name is student. So what is the name of the class? Student is the name of the class. Then see private colon. So whenever we give access specifier, the access specifier should contain colon. Whenever we give access specifier, the access specifier should contain colon. So private colon. Then character name of 10. So it is a one-dimensional character array. It's a one-dimensional character array. Then int roll number, comma mark 1, comma mark 2, comma total. So these are the data members. So all are called variables. Is it right or not? All are called variables. We can call it as data members. So these data members comes under private. Int roll number, mark 1, mark 2, total, character name. So these comes under private access specifier. Then see the next one, protected. Protected means, so it is an access specifier. They have declared the two member functions. They have declared the two member functions, void accept, void compute. Void accept, void compute. How can you say that is a member function? Yes, it contains parenthesis. So whenever it contains parenthesis, that is called a function. So inside the class it is called as member function. Can you understand, students? So whenever we declare a member function, we can understand by seeing the parenthesis. So two member functions are declared under protected. Then see next member function, void display, that comes under public. So three access specifiers are specified: private, protected and public. So member functions and data variables are declared. Then at last they have terminated the class, semicolon. See the closing curly brace. After the closing curly brace, they have given the semicolon. Can you understand, students? So if all the members are defined as private, then the object of the class cannot access anything from the class. So you should not declare everything under private. So if you declare everything under private, you cannot access anything from outside the class. See, in the previous example, they have declared only the variables. They have declared only the data members. So the data members alone declared under private. The data members alone they have declared under private, but the member functions are declared under protected and public. So you can access the member functions. You can access the member functions. So you should keep it in mind. You should not declare all the members of the class should not be declared under private. Why? Whenever we declare all the members under private, then the object of the class cannot access. So the object only can access the class. The object only can access the class. So the object of the class cannot access anything from the class. Can you understand, students? So I hope you might have understood what is mean by access specifier. So restricting the data, right? We are going to restrict the members inside the class. That restriction is called access specifier. We discussed about private, protected and public. Only access within the class private, access within the class and in the derived class protected, accessed anywhere in the class, anywhere within the program, that is called public. So I hope you might have understood this video. So let's end the class. So thank you, students.